Hey, what's up, Miami? It's your boy Will for 305 Sports Now YouTube edition. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel so we can keep growing this wonderful family, this wonderful channel, and also I can keep providing you with some great content. All right. I had to do an episode on this because the internet has been going crazy and a lot of people are chiming in on their perspectives on what in the world happened to Malik Bryant. Why did Malik Bryant postpone his commitment? Okay, so I have heard several things. I've heard from several sources that it is believed that Malik came very close. This is coming from Locked On Canes, right? Very close to actually picking Florida over UM. All right, I heard that one, and then I've also heard on the other end that Malik doesn't even like Florida, and that he's gonna be um committing to Miami regardless. He just had a personal issue as well. Regardless of the fact is the only one that could really answer this question and really answer how he feels is Malik himself, right? We've seen in the past recruits trending one way, crystal balls, and the 247 sports scheme kind of predicting where these athletes are going to go, and we've seen flips on a regular basis. Okay, we were a product of one, right? Jaleel Skinner, the tight end, was slated to go to Alabama, and he flipped and went to the University of Miami. And then, of course, Trevante Citizen was expected to go to LSU, being from that area, and he picks UM. So we really don't know what these kids are thinking as you know, as things could change over time, or something could happen, or an NIL deal might pop up, and these kids just changed their mind and they decided to go to school that they originally weren't slated to go to. We saw it with Peyton Kirkland. He trolled it. It seemed like he trolled everybody because Peyton seemed like he was going to go either to Michigan State or the University of Miami. He ends up surprising everybody and going to Texas. And I explained in a previous video why I believe he decided to go to Texas based upon his answers after his interview with 247 Sports. All right, so just a few things I want to go over is what's going on right now. To basically go with the idea that he's not going to Florida. I will say this though, whatever he might be thinking and whatever we might be thinking, that he's still locked in with the Canes. All sources have him going to the Canes. On three, the college football website has Florida a bit higher in percentage now than they were before. Now they're in like the 42% and so on. When they were much lower, Miami was like in the 80s and stuff like that. But the bottom line is that Florida is coming, whether we like it or not. The Gators are coming to pick on Malik. And basically the whole emphasis in this podcast is what Charlie Strong can do to make sure that he locks in Malik. Now, Charlie Strong is the linebackers coach for the University of Miami. We all know that. Charlie Strong is a bright defensive mind, one of the best defensive coordinators and the best defensive minds in the NCAA. All right. Charlie Strong has done it at every single aspect of coaching. He's been a linebackers coach. He's the linebackers coach now. He's been a defensive coordinator. He's been a head coach. So he's very, very, very in tune. And he also has a strong relationships with kids in Florida. All right. So the Florida kids tend to love Charlie Strong, and he has a way of connecting with them that makes them want to come to the university in which he happens to be coaching in. When he was in Louisville, you know, as the head coach over there, when he had talented players like Teddy Bridgewater, and he had Mike Lee Harris and so on, and even Devontae Parker as well, and James Burgess, his middle linebacker, a lot of his players came from Florida. They weren't even from the Kentucky area. So he basically grabbed players from Florida when he was originally the defensive coordinator for the Florida Gators, and took them from the other schools, Florida State and Miami, specifically Miami, because Teddy Bridgewater was a Miami commit, and decided to follow Charlie Strong over to Louisville, especially when Coach Randy Shannon was fired, you know, after losing to South Florida. So we get, you know, Charlie Strong as the head coach. All right. And he's a great, and basically his team's built of Floridians. Okay. As well. At Alabama, the same thing. When he worked at Alabama, he helped in the recruiting scene. And a lot of Florida kids came from Florida and they went over to Alabama. So what I'm trying to say is, like, the one guy that could really seal the deal for Mario Cristobal here and Kevin Steele, because he is the DC, is Charlie Strong. All right. Charlie Strong is the key factor in making sure that Malik Bryant does not change his mind and go to Florida. I'm going to get into Florida in about a minute or so, but I want to tell a story about how good of a recruiter Charlie Strong actually is. If you guys don't follow Dolphins, and some of you may not be Dolphin fans, some of you, most of you probably are. Channing Crowder, former middle linebacker for the Miami Dolphins, okay, went to the University of Florida. If you listen to Channing's story on WQAM, I don't know if he's ever talked about it on the Pivot, but he's mentioned it a few times on WQAM and the Mark Hochman show, and even with Adam Cooperstein when he worked with Cooperstein when he first started in radio broadcasting. I'm referring to Channing Crowder. Channing Crowder, or Crowder, as it likes to be called, was very, very close to committing to Georgia. He loved Mark Richt. He loved the Georgia program. He loved the SEC. He grew up in the Georgia area, but then Charlie Strong just came up to him and pushed and kept in contact and connected with him at such a level that he decided to not to go to Georgia and decided to commit to Charlie Strong and be a part of his defense over in Florida. Okay, so that's the power that Charlie Strong has. All right, in general. So I do believe that in the end, Charlie Strong will be a key factor. He is a key factor. He's been the lead recruiter on Malik Bryant, and I will believe he will seal the deal. But one of the things I wanna go over is why would Malik want to go to Florida? Okay, well, number one, I don't know what NIL deals Gator alums might be offering. All right, we all know that John Reese is very quick to sign a prospect into his company, so on. Okay. So we know that John Reese is very good at that, and he's more likely he's going to sign Malik. Okay, if he signed Jaden Rashada, if he signed Jake Garcia, he's going to sign Malik. All right, Malik is going to get an NIL deal with John Reese's company. So that's without being said. But I don't know. So I'm trying to get this guy's brain. Another factor that Florida has is that the University of Florida is a pure college town. All right, no matter what, you're going to get like 80,000 people at the Swamp. Right, that's going to be inevitable. That's going to happen. You're going to get 80,000 people at the Swamp. All right. So he's going to be playing before a capacity crowd, a large crowd every single Saturday. Whereas the University of Miami this year is probably going to be different because of the excitement with Mario Cristobal, his staff, his recruiting, and his bravado and so on. But nonetheless, Florida is consistently always selling out a stadium. All right. So that's something. The SEC is another one too. All right. The SEC is, let's face it, they're the big dog of the NCAA. They're better than the Big 10, Big 12. All right. Definitely better than the Pac 12 in general. They're better than the ACC. They're always on television. They have a lot of money. All right. So Malik's going to be on ESPN on a regular basis. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why I think Malik would probably think about going to Florida. Also, Patrick Toney's system is a 3-4, right? So it's a 3-4. Now, from reading on Patrick Toney, he's not as aggressive in blitzing when he was over at Louisiana Tech with Billy Napier. But nonetheless, I do think if he's able to upgrade his talent, which Florida, being a defensive coordinator at UF could do, because the fact that UF is such a prominent school and is in a Power 5 conference, there might be more of a blitz scheme coming in from Patrick Toney. But to be honest with you, that he's going to run a 3-4, and Malik's head coach over at Jones High said that the 3-4 might fit him better. All right, we'll get into what I think about that in about a minute or so. So those are just some key reasons why I think Malik might want to go to Florida over the University of Miami. Like I said, it's playing in a major conference, basically the most powerful conference in college football. He's gonna get on the field regardless because Billy Napier has yet to sign a top linebacker if he hasn't signed one already. So he's gonna get on the field regardless. Okay, so that's one other thing. And also playing every single Saturday in a college town in a high capacity crowd on a regular basis. That's something that I think is going to attract Malik. All right. So that's just a little bit of it. Now, what do I think? Now, whatever Malik decides, he's a kid. He has the right to decide. Where he wants to go. All right. It's his future. It's his life. All right. So I'm not gonna bash him on this channel, and criticize him for making a decision that's best for him. However, I am gonna be a homer, and I am gonna make the case for the University of Miami being a better program for him. All right. And the first thing I'm going to say is Miami, as of right now, is in a better situation to win in their own conference than Florida is. Florida was left a mess by Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen, although known for being a good offensive mind, his questionable play calling last year and his interchanging of quarterbacks, I think, doomed the Gators. All right. He was not going to come back for another year. He's gone. Okay. So he's gone. That's why Billy Napier is there. All right. Dan Mullen left it a mess. It's such a mess that not only did the players kind of run that team, they felt like Dan Mullen was not a good disciplinarian. All right, but also he was a lazy recruiter. So talent acquisition was not a big thing for him. Dan Mullen would have rather just sat in his office, gone through film, and called plays than actually go out there and go after kids. He's a lazy recruiter. All right, that's one of the things that was a knock on Dan Mullen, and it cost him his job over at Florida. Billy Napier is not. Billy Napier has been out there. Okay, it's perfectly evident that Billy Napier has been out there, but Dan Mullen was not that guy. Okay, so right now the Florida Gators are an absolute mess. All right, they're a mess. They're a disaster. All right, so there's for Malik to go to that team right now, he will be part of a rebuilding process. Okay, on the other side, on the Canes, say what you want to say about Manny Diaz. All right. But that team is in a better position to win than Florida. Why is it in a better position to win? Number one, Manny Diaz had a pretty decent recruiting class during COVID. Right. This is where you got James Williams. This is what you got Leonard Taylor. This is where you got the wide receivers that we're talking about. Yes, I know that in practice they've been a little iffy. Tyler Van Dyke kind of like, called them out a little bit, in the ACC kickoff conference and so on recently. But the bottom line is that they're really good. All right. They've shown flashes of talent. Keyshawn Smith, Romello Brinson, Rashard Smith, okay, as well. We also have to remember Xavier Restrepo, all right, who I think is going to have a breakout season this year. The tight ends themselves, are very, very good, okay? You have Will Mallory, Elijah Arroyo, and they just picked up, Mark Cristobal picked up Jaleel Skinner. So on the offensive side of the ball, Miami is set. And the addition of the couple linemen that are coming in, guys like the 5-star Francis Maugua as well. You have as well, and then we're probably going to get hopefully Samson Okulanula. Forgive me for butchering his name as well. We're going to see some strides for the Canes this year on offense. Okay, that's coming up, or at least coming up soon. So offense is not the problem. The tailbacks as well. With Jalen Knighton, and then you have Don Chaney Jr., and then you have Javante Citizen as well, Henry Parrish. So Miami's in a better position. Miami was less than 10 points away, all right, from winning the Coastal Division. Less than 10 points away. Miami was 7-5. Miami could have easily finished as a 10-win team last year under Coach Manny Diaz. So for all the things about Manny, we're happy he's gone. And yeah, there are some things that Coach Diaz had that needed to be corrected. And his dismissal was the right way to go because, sorry to tell you, the job was too big for Manny, all right? Manny, not without trying, firing people, bring in offensive staff, a new offensive staff, Rhett Lashley, getting Rhett Lashley to come over, hiring Travaris Robinson, all those things, were a product of Manny Diaz. He wasn't afraid to make changes for the betterment of the team, to his credit. Kind of like, not firing Blake Baker, sort of demoting him, which allowed him to get a job over at LSU as linebackers coach. All right, so those are things that Manny Diaz did for the betterment of the team. But my really wanted Mario Cristobal and got what they wanted. And we've seen already, at least in the recruiting tail, the fruits of Cristobal's labor. Right. So the Hurricanes will be a better team. And most definitely, Miami has a much better coaching staff, all right, than Florida. Okay. There's a reason why in college football, all the analysts are calling Miami's coaching staff the Assembly of the Avengers. Okay, you have the best assistant of the year, Josh Gaddis, as the offensive coordinator. You have Frank Ponce, who was a hell of an offensive coordinator over Appalachian State as your quarterback coach. Okay, you have Charlie Strong, who could be a defensive coordinator anywhere in the country, is a linebacker co-defensive coordinator. You have Kevin Steele. You have Jason Taylor, all right, former Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer, as a defensive analyst for the Canes. So this is a great opportunity for Malik to grow, all right, as a player. He's surrounded by guys that have done it, right? They have done it. They've been there. They've done it. They've been successful at it. The resume speaks for itself. So as a Canes fan, yes, I'm being the homer, but guess what? I'm sorry to tell you, I think Miami's a better situation for them. If it's between Florida and Miami's the best. I'm sorry, Miami's the better option. All right, a head coach that's done it. Coordinators have been there. Coordinators that are acclaimed, in terms of winning awards and so on. All right. You have national championship winning coordinators as well. So you have and coaches. All right. Jamal Adai, was DB coach over at Georgia. He's here at UM at the same position. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, like to me, it's a no-brainer for me. But you know what? Malik can make whatever decision he wants, and much respect to him. Hopefully, he makes a decision soon. But nonetheless, if anybody's freaking out that the hell has frozen over because we might lose a player to Florida, or that the walls are caving in, don't worry about it. We've had a pretty good session of recruiting. We've gotten some guys from other schools that were supposed to commit. But you know what? Like I said, Miami's in the mix. Miami's been in the mix. Miami's going to be in the mix, and I think that's a benefit, for the Canes, that they're getting their hat, on the table for top 5 athletes in the country. I think that's something to be that's said that could be said for this coaching staff. Now, all they have to do is win. That's all they really have to do is win. And I think winning is going to be the reason why this team is going to be successful. All right. So that's primarily it on the Malik Bryant front. And listen, we're still in for some top recruits. Okay. We have Jaden Bonsu. We're in for as well. We're in for still, Andy Jean, even though he decommitted, he still has Miami as an option. Andy Jean, the wide receiver out of Northwestern, we're still in for those guys. So Miami's still going to have a very solid recruiting cycle as well. Okay. And this weekend, Miami will be hosting some top recruits from the 2024 class. Okay. And we're going to see, some guys come in, enjoy some good barbecue, and they're already going to be spoken to about, as why they should be Miami Hurricanes. So his coaching staff is always working. They're always hard at work. And I believe in the end, the Canes will come out top. We are the U. All right. We're not going anywhere. And Coach Cristobal is going to make sure that the glory days are back, but back the right way. All right, everybody, that's it for me. If you like what you heard, please hit that like and subscribe button. Once again, I am Will, and this is 305 Sports Now, a YouTube edition. Have a safe day, and God bless. See you soon.